What is up, gamers? The Red Dragon here, and we are back with the Splinter Cell Blacklist walkthrough. We're ready for mission number 4. This is the private estate. So I want to show you how to beat this level on Ghost and also on Perfectionist difficulty. So we're going to be avoiding as many people as possible. We're going to start out by shooting out this light right here. This is going to give us a nice little dark corner we can hide in, not have to worry about that guy walking up behind us. So if we peek under the door, we'll see that there's 2 people in here. There's also a laptop to the left. I'm going to show you how to get that. So we're just going to wait on the guy on the right to eventually walk out the room. And whenever he does, we're going to hop on the pipe that is on the ceiling. So that's going to allow us to easily just kind of crawl over and be able to pick up that laptop. So this mechanic, since he's not a soldier, he's pretty easy to kind of not disturb. He goes to that desk, to the car, and then he also walks right here. So as long as he's on the other side of you or he's at the car, then you can easily hack. And then you can sneak over. I would still go far over to the right side, that way he doesn't see you. Once you get right here, there's going to be a dog that appears. Be sure you mark the dog. You want to know exactly where the dog is at all times, and we're going to let the dog walk away as far as possible. You don't want to be close to the dog. The dog's definitely the hardest part to get by. So we're just going to make sure that there's no people out here that we're walking in front of, but also our primary target is making sure that dog is on the other side. And if he's on the other side of that barrier, it's a little bit harder for them to pick up your scent. And they'll go where they last smelled you. So if you need to, sometimes you can just, kind of sprint and run away from the dogs while they're going and searching an area. So as long as they don't see you, then you might be okay. This next section, you can go a couple of different ways. You can go all the way to the far right. You can come up, I'll show you in a minute, behind some buildings. You can also go up this pipe right here. It'll take you to a ledge. I'll show you what it'll do in a minute. There's another dog. Marked it. Depending on where this dog is, if it's where the dog is right now, then you'll be able to go forward like I'll show you in just a minute. But you have to be careful, because if the dog's to the right, you got to watch out for this guy who's going to walk up behind you. If you need to, get on that ledge right there, but we're going to go ahead and run real quick, and we're going to be able to get by because the dog moved forward. So the dog is your main concern again in this section of the level. You just have to make sure that it is on further out before you try to make a move to try to move up. And I almost got spotted because there's a guy on that platform. He's about to walk down. We're going to totally bypass him. And when we get to right here, we're just going to wait again. And we're going to wait for the dog, because the dog's going to walk this way. It'll do its thing. It'll scratch a little bit. But don't move at this point. Just stay still. You're going to be good. Even though there's people on the radar around you. I played this several times, and I never had any problems with anybody spotting me here. And just wait for the dog to go ahead and move back down that same track we were just at. And then if you do encounter somebody who's right here, just wait for them to turn their back and you're good to go. Again, with a lot of these missions, you may play it and the people will be in different locations. And I mean, whenever I'm playing through these, I have to restart the sections a lot in order to make sure that I get a perfect playthrough. And so I try different things, I try different routes, and so I try to show you the ones that I found the easiest. Next is a little section where you've got the drone. It's not too difficult. You shouldn't screw this up. I would hope not during this part. But if you want to speed up a little bit, you can press A. It's got a little speed burst on it. You know what's going to be scary is whenever drones are so small and tiny, which they're already developing them, but where they're like the size of insects, and you could have a drone spying on you and you not even know it. It would be a lot smaller than what this freaking thing is. And it'll come. They'll be able to do it, trust me. Alright, so as this guy walks in, run in and get right on top of the shelf. Be careful. And so I stayed about right here. You got to be careful because if you move far over to the left or the right, one of them will see you. So just wait till that guy leaves the room. They'll talk for a few minutes, so I sped that up a little bit. And then once he leaves, you can go in here and then you just detonate the EMP. It's going to kill the lights. And now we are ready to move on, but now everybody's looking around, so you got to be a little bit more careful. This guy. See, I played this several times. There were several times where he was running, and whenever he was running, it was really easy to get by him. When he's standing there, it just takes just a little bit longer to bypass. We're just going to head up the stairs, head over to the right. Okay, whenever we get on this pipe, over to the left, this guy right there is the guy we have to capture. I did it on Ghost, and at the end of the level, I'll show you how I finally got him. But I had some complications, so I had to restart the level once or twice. So I'm just going to pop that in at the end of the level if you want to see me how I got him on Ghost. But seeing how there's not really a lot of views on these walkthroughs, that'll probably be the last one that I show you how to get all three of the things. It's easier to get the three items: the drop USB, the capture the person, if you're doing it like on Panther or something. Doing it on Ghost makes it a little bit harder, and nobody seems to be caring that we're doing that. So I'll just go ahead and show you how to beat the levels. But if you get right here, I will show you this. In this room right here is also where the drop USB is. So you can grab it, then move back over here, because to the right is where we have to go. You'll see that there's this laser, and I was trying to like slide under it, but it turns out you can just walk right under it. If you just move really slow, you can just walk right under that laser and it won't bother you. Alright, so in this next section we're going to grab our sleeping gas to begin with, and you have to protect this guy. So we're going to go ahead, toss that over. Takes out those two. And you do have to take out these people. So this is part of the mission. So there's no getting around this. You'll see that I pulled out my crossbow. So I did buy a crossbow. I also bought the sleeping gas that goes along with it. And you should have plenty of money to go buy a crossbow and all that if you've been playing the missions. And so I'm just protecting him, making sure that these guys don't get close to him. Also making sure that I don't get seen, because these people can see through gas, and so they've got really good vision. So you got to be really careful. And again, there's different ways you can take these people out. Like I played this a couple of times, and there was one time where like 4 of them ran in the same doorway, and I was able to throw down smoke and get all 4 before I even saw them. But that way works too. So in this next section I'm going to skip a little bit. You're running with him for a little bit. There's no enemies that you encounter until you get to this section right here. So we're going to make sure that we have our sticky noise maker, and that's the only thing we're going to be using right now. Going to walk him down. Once you get right here, just be careful, kind of slow down. You'll see that guy walking over to the far right. Don't have to really worry about him. He doesn't give you any trouble. And again, we're just staying on the far left-hand side of the map. Right here, I'm going to peek around. Notice, you see his lights right around the rocks. So we're just going to hide right here in the corner. Eventually, you'll see his shadow moving. He's walking. You see the indicator popped up for just a split second, but not enough to really get us. And then here's where we're going to use our noisemaker. We're going to toss it against those walls, get his attention, get him walking over there, and then we're going to sneak just right in behind him. And since I've got 2 of these things, I want to go ahead and throw both of them just to make sure that he doesn't turn back around. because I'm also in water, so I'm trying not to run or make a whole lot of noise. Figured he would hear that, so he didn't ever turn around. So as long as you have one, maybe that'll get you by. And then all you got to do is run to the boat. So again, I'll show you, if you want to stay tuned, how I also picked up that other guy, your capture target. I'll show you after I show you the score, apparently, because I forgot I edited this part in first. Alright, so you got to see that most hostiles we left undisturbed. Those 6 we had to knock out. Nice little chunk of change we can go blow at the store. Alright, so I've went back and I've warped us back to this point where I was on the pipes. I stayed up here for probably a good 3 minutes. Like, it felt like 10 minutes, but I went back and reviewed it, and it was actually a lot shorter time than what I thought it was. But eventually, there's a lot of people up here. Oh my god, this frustrated the heck out of me. But eventually, it got to a point where I could reach up here, grab him. I wanted to move him back over here, though, because there's a box on the same platform. See, there's so many people up here. It is tough to do this on Ghost. And I almost didn't even show this. I was like, screw that. I spent so much time trying to do this. I'm going to show you me actually completing it on Ghost. And then I almost got caught like 2 or 3 times. Part of it is just luck sometimes. So then I was able to hop down and then work my way back up to the steps, which was a lot easier to do once that part was down. But don't get caught at this point either, because that would suck. That you finally got that far and have to start over. So that does for me, the Red Dragon. Stay tuned, and next guide will be up shortly. Links are in the description box if you want to view the playlist to view the before and after missions. Thanks for watching.